Hello friends, today we'll be talking about Spreadsheet Basics MS Excel. The objective of today's session is to discuss about the basics of spreadsheet and various features of Microsoft Office Excel software such as spreadsheet terminologies, worksheet, cell, column and row, range, formula, function and cell pointer. How to enter, change, delete the cells or sheet and apply data validation, sorting and filtering data using autofilter, advanced filter. Working with functions and formulas, nesting functions and macros, formatting, auto-formatting and conditional formatting. Use chart wizard, pivot tables and pivot charts and goal seek, working with add-ins and protecting a worksheet or a workbook. So, starting with the introduction. After word processing, spreadsheets are probably the most important and widespread computer applications. Spreadsheets can handle all the financial calculations for a large business. They can be used to work with statistics and to calculate probability or other statistical information. A spreadsheet consists of cells arranged in rows and columns. Each cell can hold text, a number or a mathematical formula. Spreadsheet is quite useful in entering, editing, analyzing and storing data. Excel is one of the most widely used spreadsheet applications. It is a part of Microsoft Office suite. Arithmetic operations with numerical data such as addition, subtraction, multiplication and division can be done using Excel. We can sort numbers, characters according to some given criteria like ascending, descending, etc. and use simple financial, mathematical and statistical formulas. Now we'll be talking about spreadsheet terminologies. The first one, worksheet. A worksheet or a sheet is a single page in a file created with an electronic spreadsheet program such as Excel or Google Spreadsheets. A worksheet is used to store, manipulate and display data. Each worksheet has 16,384 columns and 10,48,576 rows which cannot be changed for a total of 1717 crores 98,69,184 cells. By default, each new file contains only one worksheet. Next, cell. The most fundamental unit of a spreadsheet is a cell, a box for holding information which is the intersection of column and row. The cells are identified by the cross section of the letters and numbers. The top row contains letters across the top worksheet. There is a column on the left that contains numbers and the combination of the letter and number provides a cross-reference of the cell's location. For example, A1 specifies the cell in column A and row 1. A single worksheet contains over 17 billion cells. Column and row. Each worksheet is divided into columns and row. Columns are vertical, rows are horizontal. Columns are labeled left to right with letters A, B, C, Z, AA, AB, AZ, BB, ZZ, AAA and so on. We can resize, hide and unhide the rows or columns by selecting a specified cell range. Next, data. Data is the information that is stored in the individual cells of a worksheet or a spreadsheet program. Only one piece of data is stored in each cell. In addition to being stored in the spreadsheet, the data can be used in calculations, displayed in graphs or sorted and filtered to find specific information. There are three types of data in Excel: values, labels and dates and times. Labels are the descriptive pieces of information such as names, months or other identifying statistics and they usually include alphabetic characters. Range. A group of cells. Ranges are often referenced for formulas, printing and for designating a group of information to be copied or cut. Ranges can be selected by dragging, sometimes referred to as painting, over the cells. Formula used to instruct Excel to perform a calculation or numbers entered in the cells. There are hundreds of functions in Excel like sum, average, product and count. All formulas begin with equal to sign. For example, a formula in a cell can be as simple as equal to 2 plus 2 or equal to A5 plus D5. To add multiple numbers, select all the numbers in the cells and click on AutoSum. Next, function. A function is a preset formula. Like formulas, function in Excel begin with equal to sign, followed by the function's name and its argument. The function name tells Excel what calculations to perform. The arguments are contained inside the round bracket and tell Excel what data or other information to use in the calculations. For example, the sum function is one of the most commonly used functions in Excel. It is used to add together the data in the selected cells. The sum function is written as equal to sum into bracket D1 colon D7 as shown in the figure. Here the functions add the contents of cell D1 to D7 and stores the answer in the cell D8. Cell pointer. The cell pointer is similar to the word processing's insertion point. It selects or marks the current cell where the next activity is going to take place. Now, we are starting with Microsoft Excel 2007. The screen that you can see is of window Microsoft Excel 2007. Starting with its basic features. The most common things in a spreadsheet that allow adding, deleting, renaming, sorting, filtering, inserting, copying and pasting the cells containing data from one place to another in the same worksheet or to another sheets or workbook. In Microsoft Excel, if we right click a worksheet, all the shortcut menus will be displayed as we can see. Insert. With the short key, we can simply insert cells and a row or column anywhere in the worksheet. Delete or erase. Delete option can be used for many purposes, either to permanently remove a row or column or worksheet from the workbook. Clear contents. Right-clicking on the selected data can be deleted using the option. Hyperlink. We can link one file to another file or page with the use of Excel. Insert comment. There are two ways to insert comment for the cells in the worksheet. We can directly add a comment to cell by right-clicking on the particular cell, or we can add, edit, delete comment from the review tab as we can see. Sort and filter. Excel spreadsheets helps us to make sense of large amount of data. With these options, we can sort our data either ascending or descending order and filter the data so that repetitions would be removed. Suppose we have a list of hundreds of records including dates, ages, names, cities and more. We can quickly organize the data to best suit our needs using Excel's sort and filter features. We can sort entire worksheet or a range of table of data. Sorting can be done one or more columns by using custom sort as we can see in the figure. Using basic auto filter to filter the data is a quick and easy way to find and work with a subset of data in a range of cells or table as we can see. Excel gives both the option that we can either reapply a filter to get up-to-date results or clear a filter to redisplay all the data. The advanced filter is used to perform more complex filtering than the basic Excel auto filter. Instead of filtering by fixed values or simple criteria, the advanced filter depends on user-defined criteria that can be applied to several columns of data simultaneously. These criteria are specified on the same spreadsheets as the range to be filtered rather than in a drop-down manner. In order to perform an Excel advanced filter, we need to specify a list range and a criteria range by clicking Advanced Filter button. This ranges both specify ranges of cells on a working spreadsheet. They are defined as follow. List range, the range of cells that you want to filter. This range should include headers at the top of each column. Criteria range, a range of cells generally positioned above or below the list range in which filtering criteria are specified. The criteria range should be headed by the headers that match the list range headings. The criteria for the corresponding rows in a list range should be listed under each of this heading as we can see in the figure. Next, talking about charts. With charts, we can visually summarize the numerical information and display any trends or pattern that we want to present. Charts and graphs can help make our data more meaningful and easier to understand. Different types of charts are used in Excel such as column, bar, line and pie. For example, to create a column chart, execute the following steps. First, as seen in the figure, select the range A1 to B5. Next, under Insert tab in the Charts group, choose Column and select Clustered Column. Although the Chart Tools ribbon is full of cool things we can do to our chart, sometimes we might want more control. On right-clicking the chart, following options will be displayed, and using this, we can change the chart type, select the appropriate data sources, move the chart to the next sheet and format the chart area, for example, data series, axis or titles. Add database. We can add database from other sources with data featuring using the Data tab menu. Advanced features. Now we will be talking about the various advanced features of the MS Excel. The first one, data validation. Data validation is a significant feature of Excel that can be used to define restriction on what data can or should be entered in a cell. Data validation options are located in the Data Tools group. For example, we can limit types of departments to sales, finance, R&D and IT. Similarly, we can create a list of values from a range of cells elsewhere in the worksheet. We can configure data validation to prevent users from entering data that is not valid. When users enter invalid data, it will warn them when they try to type in the cell. We can also provide messages to define what input we expect for the cell and the instructions to help the users to correct any errors. Now, nesting functions. Some Excel users, especially newcomers, may think that we can only use one Excel function at a time in a cell. But the fact is that we can join as many functions as necessary in a cell. We can even nest multiple functions within each other to achieve a certain formulae. When we do, we are using the results of the nested functions as arguments, pieces of data the first function needs to run properly. You can always tell a function is nested because it is inside the parenthesis. First example, the if function uses nested average and sum functions as arguments. If average F2 is to Fy is greater than 50, sum from G2 to G5 is 0. You can read this formulae from left to right. if the average value of cells F2 to Fy is greater than 50, then sum the values in cells G2 through G5, otherwise return 0. Here in an example of an if statement for the value if false parameter, example 2. A common example of nested if functions is when grades or awards are based upon a numeric scale. Formulas with nested if functions are entered in column C cells to display each student's letter grade based upon the numeric grade entered into column B. Here is the function in cell D4 for Mr. Cole. If B4 greater than 89, A. If B4 greater than 79, B. If B4 greater than 69, C. If B4 greater than 59, D. Else F. Macros. Macros are used for recording events for further use. Macros are a set of instructions based on actions that we can record while we work in a worksheet. After recording a macro, we can use it again as the need arises. Macro is available under the View as well as Developer tab. If the Developer tab is not available in the menu bar, do the following to display. Click the Microsoft Office button and then click Excel options. In the popular category under the top options for working with Excel, select the Show Developer tab in the ribbon checkbox and then click OK. It will be shown as seen in the figure. For example, we have a table of employee list and we can do subtotal of salaries according to the department. All the process will be recorded by using macro. Step 1. Click on Record Macro, give the macro name and provide a shortcut key, then click OK. It will create a macro and start recording. Step 2. Select the data range. Click on the subtotal option under the Data tab and then add the subtotal to the necessary fields as shown in the figure. Once Excel completes the subtotal, stop the recording. Step 3. To see the recorded macro, go to Macro and it will show the above process again. Next, auto formatting and conditional formatting. These options are used to change the format of a cell dependent on the content of the cell or a range of cells or cells in the workbook. Conditional formatting helps user to quickly focus on important aspects of a spreadsheet or to highlight errors and to identify important patterns in the data. Formatting a worksheet is not done just to make it look good. The choice of background color, the font style and the font size plus other formatting options can make data easier to read and allow readers to easily pick out the most important information in the spreadsheet. Conditional formats can apply basic font and cell formatting such as number format, font color and other font attributes, cell borders, cell fill color and highlight cell rules. In addition, there is a range of graphical conditional formats that helps with visualizing data by using icon sets, color scales or data bars. For example, we can choose for Excel to highlight cells that are greater than $300 and highlight cells that contain a specific text. If we later decide that we don't want our cells to be conditionally formatted, all we can clear the formatting. To do this, select the conditional formatting button and select Clear Rules. Then select whether you want to clear the rules from only the selected cells or from the entire worksheet. Next, talking about pivot table. Pivot table is an extremely useful tool that makes it easy to tabulate and summarize the data in a spreadsheet. First, determine the fields that are necessary to answer this question. Then, drag and drop at the bottom of the field list and in the layout area. The pivot table does not change our raw data, but rather creates a new view of it. While there are many more things we can do with pivot tables are always connected with pivot charts. Next, selecting the data. Put the cursor anywhere in the data set. We do not have to select it at all. Then go to the Insert menu and choose Pivot Table. Let us take an example. Using the example shown in the figure, we will create a summarized report for employee name and their salary amount. If we click on OK button, we will get the screen as shown. This is a default setting in Excel that data with numbers will always appear on the right and all of the portion data appears on the left side of the rows. Once the report will be created, pivot chart options will be displayed in the same screen. On clicking the pivot chart option, the chart along with a pivot chart filter pane will be shown on the same screen where we can adjust the chart by filtering the data, access fields and legend fields and some values. Next, talking about GoalSeek. The GoalSeek function, Excel's what if analysis tool set, allows us to see how one data item in a formula impacts the another. It is available under Data tab. In GoalSeek, there will be 3 boxes to fill in. The first says Set Cell. Enter the cell address or click on the cell of the cell whose value you want to fix or set to a specific number, that is profit cell. This cell must contain a formula or a function, otherwise it will not be linked to the cell you will be changing to obtain 0 profit. The second says To Value. Enter the appropriate value you wish to see in that set cell, that is 0 if you want the profit to come out 0. The third says By Changing Cell. Enter or click on the cell you want GoalSeek to change to obtain the 0 profit, that is milk price. This cell must not be a formula or a function. Then click OK. To get a better understanding of what a GoalSeek command actually does, assume the following cells. We will use GoalSeek to find a number to make the sum equal to 100. L1 equal to 32, L2 equal to 63, A3 equal to sum of L1, L2 which is showing 95. In GoalSeek, set cell, click on L3. To value, enter 100. By changing cell, click on L1. The sum in L3 should now be 100 and A3 should have become 37 for that to happen. Next, protecting worksheet or a workbook. When we share a workbook with other users, we may want to protect data in a specific worksheet or workbook elements to help prevent it being changed. We can also specify a password that users must enter to modify specific protected worksheet and workbook elements. In addition, we can prevent users from changing the structure of a worksheet. How to protect a worksheet elements? Select the worksheet that we want to protect. To unlock any cells or ranges that we want other users to be able to change, do the following. First, select each cell or range that we want to unlock. Second, on the Home tab in the Cells group, click Format and then click Format Cells. Third, on the Protection tab, clear the lock check box and then click OK. Now, protecting a workbook element. First, on the Review tab in the Changes group, click Protect Workbook. Under the Protect Workbook, we can do one or more of the following. First one, to protect the structure of a workbook, select the structure checkbox. Second, to keep workbook windows in the same size and position every time the workbook is open, select the Windows checkbox. Similarly, we can protect elements in a shared workbook and remove protection from a worksheet from the Review tab. I would now like to summarize today's session. In the Spreadsheets Basic, we discussed different spreadsheet terminologies and basic as well as advanced use Excel feature such as chart wizards, macro, data validation, pivot table, sorting and filtering data using autofilter, advanced filter, nesting functions and protecting a worksheet or a workbook. I hope you are clear with the basics of MS Excel. Thank you.